Hey, what's up, everybody? So, today I get to start a whole new series with y'all. And today's series is extra special for me because it's something that, in my heart of hearts, I thought I was an expert. I thought I was phenomenal. I was great at it. I was better than everyone else. And I couldn't learn anything from anyone. And when I started to actually get real training, and learn the principles behind it, everything changed for me. My entire business got better, my communication overall got better, and my ability to use persuasion over the phone just skyrocketed. It was a complete 180 for me. And that's when I realized I myself am not very good on the phone. Now, today I'm much better, but even then, I'm still lacking a little bit on the phone. So I know what you're thinking. But Gibran, I'm great in person. When I meet someone, I talk to them, I easily make conversation. They understand me, I understand them. It's a match made in heaven. And you might be right about that. I'm not discounting the fact that you might be really, really great at being with someone. But what you have to understand is that being with someone is completely unique from talking to someone on the phone. And just because you're good in person doesn't mean that those skill sets translate over to being good on the phone. And let me explain to you why. Because a lot of the naysaying around this comes from the fact that people just don't understand how human beings actually communicate. So everyone should have a handout right now. I want you to follow along with me as we go through this handout, and you're going to get some really phenomenal information. And I really want you to internalize all of this. I want you to let all of it really set in, because the second that you start to realize and all of this clicks for you as, oh, that's why, your life will change tremendously because your phone skills will skyrocket. And whether you believe it or not, or whether you think about it or not, about 80% of your communication happens over the phone if you're a sales professional. So whether you're in real estate, insurance, or selling cars, 80% of that's happening over the phone, just getting customers in the door, or in a realtor's case, getting appointments with customers. So let's dive right in here. I want to start off with what I call the 55-38-7 rule of communication. And you see, a few years ago, they did a study to figure out, how do human beings actually communicate? How do human beings look at each other and understand what it is that they're saying? Is it in the language? Is it in the body? Is it in the voice? And what they found was really, really remarkable. You see, 55% of communication comes from body cues. How I move my hands, how my face looks. Do I look angry? Do I look sad? Do I look happy? 55% of that communication is given off by what we call body language, or I call it physical body cues, things that we can read on the actual body. It has nothing to do, really, the majority of it, with what's being said. And that was really surprising for scientists. That was very surprising for the people studying this, because for the longest time, we thought what made us unique to other animals is that we use our words to communicate. Now I'm going to lay down another very surprising thing. You see, you would think, well, if 55% is from the body, then the other part has to come from words. And that's where you'd be wrong. Because you see, 38% of communication actually comes from tonality and the vocal elements that you're using. Your tonality dictates whether you're being serious, whether you're being happy and excited, whether you're worried and not so sure about those things. A lot of that is communicated through the tonality of your voice. So now we're at 55% body cues, 38% of it tonality and vocal elements, leaving us with only 7% of our communication actually being the content of what's being said. So those of you who think that Well, I've got all the facts. I've got all the information. How could they not believe me? How could they not want to come in and come for an appointment with me? I've got all the proof that I'm the best realtor ever. And that's what answers this major conundrum. Why are some people able to present strong, logical arguments, but still fall on deaf ears? And the answer is that because a logical argument is comprised of the actual content of what's being said, but it doesn't necessarily carry good body cues and good tonality, which is where the vast majority of all the communication, 93% of it, is coming from. So why is this rule of communication so problematic when you're doing telephone sales or you're making telephone calls? And you see, whenever we make a telephone call, we lose those body cues. 55% of what we used to use to communicate is gone. And that leaves us with only 45% of the pie to work with. That means the tonality and content make up the other full 100% when you're on the phone. You don't get to use body cues, tonality and content. And if we extrapolate and we pull those numbers out from the actual 55-38-7 rule, we find out 84% of what we say on the phone is tonality and 16% is content. So if you asked me, Jabron, I want to be better on the phone. Tomorrow I want to wake up and I want to be great on the phone. My first thing I would say, quit worrying about what you're saying. Start worrying about how you're saying it. Because your tonality over the phone carries 84% of the message. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. One, when was the last time you even thought about your tonality? When's the last time the idea of tonality even crept into your head? And the second thing that I want you to ask is, when I'm making a phone call, am I primarily basing the phone call on the content that's coming out of my mouth? And if your answer to the second one is yes, then only 16% of your message is being delivered. You see, the tonality is 84% of it. If there's anything that you need to work on, it's your tonality. And whether you want to believe it or not, it all starts with a simple word or a simple phrase. And that's what I want you to practice today. I want you to practice how you answer the phone and how you greet someone when you're calling. So ready? I want to do a little bit of work with you. I want to do a little bit of practice here. I want you to work on when someone is calling you. Because you see, I call a lot of people, and normally what I hear is, hello, hello, hi, hello. Very cold, unflattering messages for me on the other end. You see, when I'm receiving a call, I want to feel that the other person is excited, that they want my call, that they've been waiting to hear from me. So what I want you to do is, with a partner, I want you to practice saying, hi, this is Jabron speaking. And you have to use a tonality. And it can be very different tonalities. It doesn't have to sound exactly like mine. But the overall message that you need to be delivering is that I'm excited. I'm happy to be on the phone with you. Now, the second thing that I want you to practice, and the first one again is, hi, this is Jabron speaking. Like you want to be there. Hi, this is Jabron speaking. If you answer, hi, this is Jabron speaking, it's not the same. Think about the tonality. And tonality is not volume. Well, volume is very important. Tonality is when you hear somebody do a sound like that. That's tonality. So again, hi, this is Jabron speaking. You really want to get that one down. Now, the second one is, I want you to learn how to do a greeting when calling someone, because your greeting should always be the same. You should be asking for the person and then following it up with explaining exactly who you are, who you're with, and where you're from. And I know it sounds like a lot of irrelevant information, but stick with me here. If you use this, you can be a master on the phone. So the phrase that I want you to practice is, "Hi, is John there?" And if you practice with your friend, you can use your friend's name. "Hi, is John there?" "Yes, this is John." "Hey, John, this is Gibran Hernandez." Notice how I asked it like a question. "Gibran Hernandez with White Picket Realty?" Like, I'm confused. White Picket Realty? Asking it like a question. "In Houston, Texas?" Like a question. Because you see, what I'm doing is I'm priming their brain to accept that, yes, you must be Gibran Hernandez. Yes, you must be with White Picket Realty. And yes, you must be in Houston, Texas, which immediately creates rapport for me because they have to agree with that. They don't know who it is. So that's a really strong opening. "Hi, is John there?" "Hey, John, this is Gibran Hernandez with White Picket Realty in Houston, Texas. How are you doing today?" And I want you to practice that second part today as well. So if there's two things that you get today, is that tonality is the absolute most important thing on the phone. And the second thing that you're getting today is some good practice in your introductions, because you see, next week, we're going to dive really, really deep into becoming amazing on the phone. And we're going to start to practice some scripts. And I'm even going to teach you, if you wanted to create a script, how you can create the most amazing scripts that are going to change the way you go on the phone. But until you master tonality, nothing else will work for you. So practice that. That's our goal for this week. Let's get our tonality under control. So thank you so much, guys. If you have any questions, I want you to go on the YouTube and leave them down in the comments. I'm going to be answering all the questions because I know that answering the phone and being on the phone is one of the skills that everybody hates to do. And those who don't hate it, they think they're good at it, but most of them are not. So if you master these skills, I can guarantee you your business is going to soar. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see y'all next week.